What is going on, you guys? Today is a nasty, snowy, sleet day outside. No real crazy work going on today. So I figured I'd do a build for something I don't have to do. It's kind of nice to build some things when you don't have to build it.
Slow down, mama, why you talk so mean?
So this is my basement. There's a walkout over here and it's a mess. I have a lot of construction stuff thrown in here. And if you don't have anywhere to store it, it makes it very hard to organize anything, especially when you need space to work also. So it all gets kind of thrown in over there. Today, we're gonna make a shelf system. Super simple. I have the fish tank over here still, which I can't really move by myself. So I'm just gonna be building a single 16-foot section here today, and I'll probably do like an L eventually, so I can still have a shop space here. But as you can see, just crap laid out all over. So I'm gonna do a few shelves. I just picked up, so it'll be 3 shelves, 16 foot. So that means I need the 3 sheets of plywood here. I'm just using 1/2 inch, and we'll just create a frame underneath it, rip that in half, and it'll be a 24-inch shelf. Most bang for your buck for that. Clean this stuff up on the floor, my trim storage here, so we can actually work. This style of bin, I run these in my trailer too. I like that you can see everything inside. So we'll try to go height-wise off of that. I'm gonna be securing to the concrete wall with some Tapcons, just to minimize like supports and whatnot. So, I mean, if you don't have an SDS and don't want to drill into your concrete, you could just use a 2x4 in the back, but I don't really need that. So we just need a ledger for that plywood to sit on, and we'll do that 3 times. So I'm trying to figure out our baseline right now. 2x4 in the back, and I did a 2x6 in the front just because I want to minimize the vertical supports to hold that. So depending on how it goes, I might try to run 3 total supports, 1 on each end, 1 in the middle, which would be an 8-foot span for a 2x6 frame. I think it should be plenty sufficient for just storage. So yeah, that way you don't have a bunch of supports in the middle. So keeping that in mind, if we do the top of the 2x4 on that laser line there, then your 2x6 is going to come down another, what, couple inches. So just keep that in mind if you are actually going the same dimensions. Doing everything by yourself kind of sucks and it gets old. But what I'm going to try to do here is tack into that board or that stud over here and have it hold it there while I get my height on this side. I could just put a block under there, but we'll see how it goes. That's 19 inches from the floor to the bottom of that. So now we're just gonna add that, plus a 1/2 inch for the plywood. All right, got our 3 rows up. That's gonna be our ledger, and that's what we're gonna go off of. It's gonna hold the back. So we wanna come 24 inches out to maximize our plywood. So subtract your 3 inches for your front and your back ledger, and then you'll have 21 inches there. So 21 inches blocks all the way down here, depending on your spacing. And you want to hit where you have gaps. So at the 8-foot mark, 1/2 inch plywood. Should probably just do 16 on center. I could have gotten a little bit thicker plywood, but last night when I went to the lumber yard, they had all of the trucks in the bay where you go to pick up the plywood, and because they're getting ready for the storm. So I just grabbed 1/2 inch real quick. Should be plenty sufficient. If you're not like using it as a workbench and pounding on it. So.
Nice clothes, nice shoes, boogie down at the bar, fiddle tunes and homemade booze.
All right, just ripping this down with my circular saw here. Want to get a nice straight cut, even though you could just throw it towards the back and then you wouldn't really see it. If you go to Home Depot or Lowe's and you can find a competent employee that can use a saw, rip it down for you, save you a little bit of time. But they don't do that at the lumberyard, but the lumberyard is better. You don't have to move the wood onto your cart, off your cart, on, out the store, onto your truck. Just put it on the truck and get going. So.
Hold on, sugar, why you look so sad? Come on now,
I just have a couple 2x4s on this side and that side. One to keep it off the sawhorses, and then it won't fold in on you when you're cutting if you're using them like the other way, because it'll want to pinch your blade, and we don't want that. All right, so I have to cut a bunch of cuts down to 21 inches. It would be faster if I just set up a little jig on my chop saw, but I don't really feel like dragging it through the unplowed snow to get it down here. So I'm just gonna do it by hand, so let's measure it.
Double down, throw some dice, you can take off now, don't think twice, but hey, don't you wanna play? Baby, come on. Tell me where you wanna go.
Oh man, just forgot to record that, but I have my 16-foot boards up in the front, the 2x6s, and I have them tacked in to 3 of the studs. Everything's leaning down right now. I'm just gonna nail it together. Then I'll throw the laser up, get it level with the back, and then get our vertical supports nailed in there. So yeah, they're hanging on. Let's get the rest of these nailed.
No, I don't. Come on now, mama, don't you hesitate. Grab my hand, well we land. I got the champagne. We can knock it back, get on track, jump on and ride this thing. Double down, roll the dice, take off now, don't think twice. Hey, don't you want to say hey?
All right, time for a lot of screws. Bam, this thing is all done. Pretty happy with it. Super simple. Tried to keep our lumber down as much as we could. Plenty sturdy here with just the 3 supports, an 8-foot span for that 2x6 in the front. Obviously, I screwed the back to the concrete a little bit more, so that span is a little bit less there. You do the same thing on a studded wall. It would actually make it easier for you. You don't have to drill in or use an SDS or concrete screws. So I don't know. I think this is pretty, I'm pretty happy with this. I will put a list of the materials that I used down below. It cost me just about $200. So yeah, it's pretty sweet, guys. Tell me what you think. Is this big shelving system worth 200 bucks of material? Because you go on Marketplace and you see those little bin holders and people want to sell them for $800. Insane. Obviously this is not deep enough for the bin. Let me show you how this is gonna go. If you're okay with it sticking off like this, a few inches. I know they do make different sizes of these. This is the HDX, the Home Depot 27-gallon tough tote. So a couple inches off. I don't really think it affects anything. Or you can just come sideways like this, depending on what bin size you guys have. I wonder how many bins this would hold. Let me get you a count real fast. Man, so I just loaded this thing up. It's not even full. Obviously, I don't have enough of these one type of specific bin. It's all mixed around, and yeah, that's a pretty good amount. If you just put 4 in each bay and stack it up, you're at 32 bins. So I'd say that's pretty good for 180 bucks. Obviously, stuff's double stacked on the top. This is a 9-foot basement here, so obviously a little bit more room than a standard basement. But you know, if you didn't have that extra bit, you just do one on the top row.